Hey guys, it's me Elizabeth. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be doing another book reorganization, bookshelf reorganization video because I have to reorganize my bookshelves again. Reason being, I have a whole new stack of books that need to go on my shelves. I bought a lot of books recently. The other day I went to the thrift store and a bookstore and I ended up coming back with a bunch of books, and then I've gotten a few in the mail. So I have a lot of books that need added to my shelves, so I'm going to have to do a reorganization of some of my shelves. I think this is going to be similar to the last video. I'm not going to reorganize every single shelf, but I am going to pull off books from like a lot of shelves and reorganize them because I need somewhere to put these books. Before we get into the organization, let me do a mini book haul of all these new books that I have. So I have this one book that isn't really part of this book haul because I have the whole series, and so I'm not gonna show you that one. But okay, so I have this. This is Psych, Mind Altering Murder by William Rabican. This is the second book in the Psych book series by William Rabican. I have the first one. I read it. I really enjoyed it, and I had a free book on Thrift Books. And you can only get like a book with a certain amount of price. You can't go over a certain amount. So I decided to get this one because this one fit in the free price range. And the next book I have here is The Time Traveler's Guide to Medieval England, a handbook for visitors to the 14th century by Ian Mortimer. Again, I bought this one off of Thrift Books because as I was buying that Psych one, I saw this and I was just like, yeah, I want this. So, yeah, that's something. Then we have this. This is an Illumicrate box book that I actually just received today. I got my first box from Illumicrate, and I might cancel my subscription, I'm not sure. But I have Book of Night by Holly Black. I've never read anything by Holly Black, but she is a super popular author, and it has some really cool bonus stuff in here. It has a note signed by the author, has some bonus content on the inside, and the cover, there's also really cool artwork on the pages, but the cover also has gold foiling all over it, so that's cool. This is from Illumicrate, so this is a special edition of Book of Night. I actually didn't know this was coming in the box. Obviously everything in the box was a surprise, but this actually sounds kind of interesting, surprisingly, so I will definitely be reading that at some point. Yes. And then we have a few books. I wonder, oh, here we go, sorry. So we have Jane Austen, Persuasion. This one I got at a bookstore, as well as The Mystery of Edwin Drood by Charles Dickens. Some more classics to add to my classics shelf because classics are amazing. And then at the thrift store, I found this book called 1945 by Robert Conroy. What if Japan hadn't surrendered in World War II? I thought this concept sounded really cool, and I read the back and it just sounded really interesting, so I'm intrigued by that one. I also found this fantasy book at the thrift store. It's called The Sorcerer's Bane, 7 Words, Book 1 by C.S. Watcher. I thought this sounded interesting, and it's like a brand new copy of this book, so that's pretty cool. I also found this one at the thrift store. This is Paul Revere's Ride by David Hackett Fisher. This is a book on Paul Revere, and I just thought it sounded interesting, and obviously I love history, so anytime I see something historical related that I think is interesting or on a subject that I'd be interested in, I want to pick the book up. Also, these paperbacks at the thrift store were 50 cents, so I almost didn't buy this, but then when I saw they were 50 cents, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm buying that. So then at the bookstore, I got this children's book because I couldn't help myself. It's called M is for Monocle, a Victorian Alphabet by Greg Paprocki. The reason I bought this is because it's a Victorian alphabet book. So it's Victorian, which, if you don't already know, I love the Victorian era. I dress in Victorian clothing. I'm a Victorian nerd, whatever you want to call that. I'm into history, but Victorian is one of my favorite things that I'm into. And then I also found this at the thrift store. It's called Williamsburg Before and After, the Rebirth of Virginia's Colonial Capital. I just thought this was super cool. It's about colonial Williamsburg in Virginia. I've never been, but I really want to go. And when I saw this, I thought it would be cool to learn the history behind the now modern, how they made the now Williamsburg. I don't know if that makes any sense, but you know. Then we have Tolkien Bestiary by David Day. This is so exciting. I bought this one at the bookstore and I saw this and I was just like, you know what? I have to have that. And it's another Tolkien book. Super exciting. It's got all of the creatures from Middle-earth and Tolkien's universe in here, and I'm so excited to like actually explore it. I haven't gotten a good look at it yet. I've just kind of flipped through it a little bit, but like I'm really excited. Yeah, this is just super exciting. Now I have one more book to show you, and it is my most exciting recent book purchase ever. I got this one online. I actually pre-ordered this book back when it was available for pre-order. As soon as the author said, oh, I'm making a book, here, it's available for pre-order, I pre-ordered it immediately because I knew I had to have it. And that is a book called Make, Sew, Mend, Traditional Techniques to Sustainably Maintain and Refashion Your Clothes by Bernadette Banner. If you don't know, Bernadette Banner is a YouTuber. I watch her videos all the time. She does historical clothing videos. She hand sews Victorian clothes and other historical clothes. She's a dress historian, and her videos are the coolest thing ever. She's basically my favorite YouTuber at this point, and as soon as I knew that she was coming out with a book, I was like, yeah, I have to have it. And this literally has everything a beginner needs, and even just like if you don't know something, you can look in here and it's in here. It's just super cool. Obviously there's like a lot of basic things in here that I already know, but then there's also a lot of basic things in here that I don't know, so it's like pretty awesome. I'm super excited to actually like look up things in here and actually use them. But all the photography and all the whole thing is written by Bernadette Banner, and it's just really cool. Yeah, she's just like, I don't know, she did a good job with this layout of the book and everything, and it just looks super cool, and I'm really excited to have this one. Now let's get into the book, Reorganization. Sorry that was really long. Okay, so those are all the books that have to go onto my shelves. Also, my book cart is a heaping mess, and it needs reorganized because it's a mess. I also have this book, Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. This I actually purchased like one of those blind date with a book things where they send you a random book in a specific genre, and I said historical fantasy. I don't know how this is historical fantasy, number one. Number two, I'm probably going to get rid of this book and not read it because it's about Lincoln. I'm not gonna go into details, but I don't really care to learn about to read about Lincoln or whatever, because I'm not a fan of Lincoln. So yes, I know he was our president, whatever, but I, not a fan of the guy. I would be fine learning about him in a historical aspect, but I don't want to read fiction about him, sorry. So I probably won't keep that book, I'm gonna be honest here. But yeah, let's get to the book cart first, and then we can see where we go from there. So I don't know how well you can see this. Let me just adjust this a little bit. But the middle shelf is pretty good. I reorganized it last time. It's the same as I reorganized it, and all the books are pretty good. As you can see, this bottom shelf is kind of a mess, and this top shelf is slightly a mess as well. It just needs some like fixing. I just need to like make it so that it's not a mess on the top here. I need to put some, if I just put stuff away properly the way it's meant to go away, it wouldn't look like this, and then I wouldn't have any issues. So it's just me being lazy. It's not actually like really a mess. It's just stuff needs to go back the way it was there. So that's kind of what's happening there. There was another pen of some sort somewhere, but I don't know what happened to it. I think I had a highlighter or something, but it's not on here, so guess that's gone for now. I don't know where it went. Mostly the bottom shelf on here is what I need to take care of, because I don't know if you can see this, but these books are all over the place. And they're getting destroyed slightly as well. Isn't that great? Well, oh, here's my book cover. I was looking for this. So I finished Ink Death recently. Now this book cover is getting completely destroyed. You know, there's literally a giant crease in the spine of this. That's jacket. That's sad. But I need to put this back on the book so I can put this book with my stack of ink cart books because I finished it. So, yes, I did destroy that, sadly. The rest of these books can go back on here. They just need to be on here properly instead of in a mess. Geez, not working very well, is it? This will hopefully hold these up better. Hopefully the hardcover will help them stand up a little bit better. Probably not. You know what? I'm just gonna do this, and then we can just kind of like go like that. And then I'm gonna hope that this dust jacket for casual vacancy doesn't get completely destroyed. But I'm gonna put it back here. And there we go. Alright, so I already know where this book needs to go. It needs to go on this bottom of this stack with the other ink cart books. There we go. So now I just have to figure out which shelves we need reorganizing for some of my books to fit on. So this shelf here is books that I've already read, so we're good with that shelf. This shelf is books, mix of books I've read and books I haven't read, so I do have a space there to fit some books, so maybe you don't have to reorganize too much on that shelf. I have to add a book up here because I have a Tolkien book to put in there. Okay, so I have to organize these books. These are classics. This is a fantasy, children's, history, random, history. I'm probably getting rid of this. Tolkien, and more history. So I have a lot of history books in here, which is actually great because I need more history for my collection. So I only have 2 fantasy. I was kind of expecting that I had to rearrange my whole bookshelf, but I don't actually have to do that. And these books should actually fit right in this gap down here. I'm hoping. So we got the Sorcerer's Bane and Book of Night. And I think they should both fit right in here. Just don't want to destroy that. Look at that. That worked perfectly. They both fit absolutely perfectly. Now I have one children's book that needs to go all the way up here. You probably can't see me, but I'm putting this up here. So let's see. Maybe if I move this, I can put this like that. Oh yeah, it fits in there perfectly. Wow, this is perfect. Alright, then we have one random book, just like one, which can go down here. There's actually, there is a little gap right there, isn't there? That's a gap. I call that a gap. Oh dear. This book isn't moving. It's like stuck to this bookshelf. I'm trying to move this. Alright, that's as good as it's going to get moved for the time being. But that should be plenty of space to fit this book next to the first one. Hopefully. This is definitely questionable. It's gonna be really tight. Maybe, maybe not. Yikes. And almost there. Almost. Squeeze in there. And it's in there. That's really tight, but there you go. Now I have a bunch of history books. We're gonna probably have to put this one inward. Sadly, we can't have an outward facing book right now. I have these I tried to have these kind of organized in a way. So medieval can go over here with the medieval books. This is actually a really cool cover, so if I could like show off any of them, I would actually show that one off. This is like World War II, so I can go over here. And then this is like in between because it's colonial. This is actually colonial as well. Look at that. This one's gonna jut out a lot because of it being so large. I feel like there's no space on that shelf, but this is the type of book that should go on this shelf. Hold on. How about we do this? Let's move this. We have some cookbooks over here, so I'm going to move this cookbook, The Adventurous Eaters Club, up here with my other cookbooks, because it will actually fit there. And then I can put this giant book down here with all these other giant books. I'm losing whatever is on top there. There we go. I mean, you can't really see the spine of the giant book, but that's okay with me for now. It's not that big of a deal. I wish I could, like, you know what, maybe if I could, like, this, I can, like, display this. Because I think that would be super cool. Look at that, the Time Traveler's Guide to Medieval England. That's cool. Alright, then we have two classics, which is going to be the hardest. Actually, I lied. It's going to be easy. I would actually, maybe it's not. Hold on. Let me open this up. Open sesame. Now, here's one problem. So I can put Jane Austen's book back here because I have a whole stack of books back here, so that's fine. It'll go back here. My problem here is that I have this Dickens book, and this is my Dickens stack. So what I'm going to do is remove this copy, if I can. Let's just do this. Plus it'll give more space. So I'm going to move this copy of Little Dorrit, put it back here, because I have two copies of Little Dorrit, so two nice modern copies, I should say. I technically have 3 copies if you include my old one, but I'm going to put this right here. Do this. And then I can put the Mystery of Edwin Drood right there. And that works. Ta-da! Alright, the last book I need to put on my shelf is the Bestiary, and this can just go on my Tolkien shelf. There's not a lot of space with this Hobbit book showing, so I'm gonna have to probably put this in here. And I'm gonna want to put this over in between these ones because it's a David Day book. It's not specifically by Tolkien himself, so I'm gonna do that. And there's a giant gap right there. I wish I could do that and still have this showing. Maybe I can do that. It's kind of weird, but there you go. There's my shelf. So I honestly thought I was going to have to take off all my books off my shelves to try and add all of these books. But I didn't have to. All I had to do was just add them in the gaps in different places that I already had existing, which I didn't think. I thought I was going to have to reorganize everything, and I didn't have to do that, which is a relief. Also, if you're wondering why I didn't put the Bernadette Banner book on these shelves, it's because I want to keep it out so I can look at it. Because I want to look at it in more detail and read it and just, you know, use it. Also, if you saw a stack of books on the floor, those are books that I need to replace because they're either the wrong copy, they're either mass market paperback, which I dislike very much, and so I want to get rid of my mass market paperbacks and get just normal paperbacks. And yeah, so I have a couple of books on the floor because I'm trying to replace them with the correct version of the book. 2 of them are actually part of the series that I own, but each book in that series is a complete different edition, and that book that got me, I want all of the books to be the same because it's from the same series, and I want them to look nice together, you know. So anyways, I don't know what this video was. It's kind of random and all over the place, and I didn't really set out to do. I got what I set out to do good and done. I got all the books in there, but my initial thoughts, it didn't pan out that way because I thought I was going to have to reorganize my whole bookshelves. I really didn't need to do that, which is a good thing for now. If you enjoyed this video and want to support me, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and comment down below if you have any book recommendations or any book ideas you want me to do for this channel. And if you're into history, historical fashion, or sewing, check out my other channel links below. I will see you in the next video. I hope you have your own fun reading adventures. Bye.